I am shocked. I didn't expect it to happen this soon. I know that he was under pressure because, look, Chelsea is a big club.
Yeah.
They expect to win. It hasn't happened before, or it hasn't happened that long or long ago that they haven't scored this minimum goals.
Yeah, I think he's got a big decision to make. He's offered the Chelsea job. I think he's one of a number of leading managers who knows that there are a lot of big jobs potentially becoming available this summer, so he has to be careful where he chooses to go to next. Now, despite what you may have heard or read, the Chelsea job is still a very attractive job. OK, it's going to be a difficult job for a number of reasons, but Chelsea is still one of the biggest clubs in the world, and they're based in the capital city, London. Fantastic facilities. A lot of managers would like to go there. Now, if it comes down to somebody's CV, I am of the firm opinion that Xabi Alonso has the best CV out of all the candidates Chelsea are speaking to. But at the end of the day, it's a job to decide whether he wants to go to Chelsea, because in football it's an open secret that his dream job, after having left Real Madrid, which was another dream job, underwhelming season. Some of the fans are unhappy. Winners at the moment are planning to. So I think Xabi Alonso has to decide, if Chelsea say, you're the man, we want you, will you come here? He has to decide whether Chelsea is the right move for him, or whether he's going to wait for other opportunities to materialise.
Definite contenders. Now, we understand that Cesc Fabregas, Oliver Glasner and Felipe Luis are also being considered. But I'm told by our chief correspondent, Kaveh Solokol, that one name is standing out. So you've told me, tell them.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at all these contenders' CVs, you would have to say that the standout candidate is Xabi Alonso, not just because of what he achieved as a player, but also what he's achieved as a manager. He's managed Real Madrid. OK, he only lasted 8 months. He was forced out by the Real Madrid dressing room. But I think having Real Madrid on his CV would attract the Chelsea owners, especially if you look at the state Real Madrid were in when he lost his job in January and the state they're in now. I think he won 24 out of 34 games. They were 4 points behind Barcelona when he left Real Madrid. Now, Barcelona have won the title and Real Madrid are in disarray, 14 points behind. Real Madrid are 14 points behind them. So if you speak to most Chelsea fans, they would say Xabi Alonso is the one that we want. Even
if Chelsea were to go out and get Xabi Alonso, what sort of statement do you think that's making to the Premier League?
Yeah, it's massive. It's huge, because I really like Xabi Alonso. I think he was harshly treated, certainly at Real Madrid. But when you look at what generally happens at Real Madrid, I mean, unless you absolutely win Champions Leagues and all that, you're never going to be seen as success.
Yeah, losing your job at Real Madrid doesn't make or break you, and it doesn't define you at all.
I mean, he still had 71% win percentage, which is absolutely crazy. And you think, wow, that's unbelievable. But you know, it's like at Real Madrid, if you don't win your games, you don't get the job. But for me, when you look at what he did at Leverkusen, that invincible season, winning trophies, it was absolutely outstanding. I think he's one of the next up-and-coming superstar managers. And I think he would send a real statement of intent. Now, I think for him to go to Chelsea and it work, of course, Chelsea have to change their whole model. Because I don't think Xabi Alonso as a manager is one of those you could go, do you know what? We're going to play him, and this is who we're signing. You have to give him the keys and go, what do you need for us to be successful again? So I think if you can get him, brilliant. But I just wonder if the owners at Chelsea, and you'll know better than me, if they're prepared to give up that type of power.
Yeah, I don't think they would be. You know, they believe that in the fullness of time, their model will be proved correct. They believe genuinely that they are onto something, and the way that they're doing things is going to prove fruitful.
Do you think it will? Time.
No, I think it's ridiculous. I think that these are American billionaire venture capitalists who think they are always the cleverest person in the room, and they think that they can put their blueprint into football, and it's not working. Like, football doesn't need disruptors. You can't run a football club as if it were a Silicon Valley tech startup. No. And that's what they're doing. So, and that's massively problematic. I just don't think that Xabi Alonso will conform to the parameters that they set out. However, if they do give him free rein, if they allow Xabi Alonso to be the Chelsea manager in the fullest of his capacity, then I'd be all in favour of it. However, Darren, I'm cynical.
I know what you're going to say. There's an element to another club that plays in Merseyside, Red.